I don't know, but he's
Well,
up
you
on
won't
panel now.
say.
I don't know about panel, but
Well, I want to ask you about the 2 warrants out of the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Okay. Okay, let's ask me about them. Oh, Lord. Man, you ought to see this hot-looking chick I'm with right now. Nice ass.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful eagle.
What'd you do? Get her off on call service?
Well, yeah, I just want to know, did you give Madison County Court a notice that
Did some dick?
in the hospital?
Yes.
Okay, so they know that you were going to be in the hospital with what kidney dialysis? Is that what you experienced?
Yeah, I had kidney failure, man. 4 days in the hospital, you know.
I mean, we can make sure they do know, but they don't know that.
So
It should be, shouldn't it? That's the AB recording.
why did they issue the warrant at the court that you failed you're at?
They took a YouTube video over hospital documents and all that, I guess. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't say.
You sure weren't there? You were jumping out the window and running like hell because Nicolina said she was going to tell where you were.
Why have you also tried to discredit psychics?
I never tried to discredit none of them. I don't know none of them. I just said what I said. That's it. I never discredited any of them. They tried to make me discredit them, but I didn't.
You tried to
They
discredit.
tried to make me say that these other people were wrong, and exactly the TBI told me personally. So when kids are missing dead bodies and all that stuff's found, it is through psychics. So that's why I said I've always said that.
Now.
But they tried to get me on the panel and say that something about psychics, but I don't know nothing about psychics anyway. So I have a few friends at psychics, but I don't know what their business is. I don't deal in it. I don't know.
So would you be willing to? You're currently in the state of Tennessee, right?
Yes, and I'm heading toward the Sebastian Rogers thing tomorrow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Seth has wrote cease and desist letters out to other YouTubers. Our team's going to come in and we're going to clean up. We're going to do what needs to be done. And I do think Seth is a former corrections officer, and so am I. And I do appreciate, Seth for taking initiative.
Everybody, go look up the Hay House in Tennessee or Kentucky, wherever the fuck it is. You can see that it's not a correctional facility. It is not a prison. It is a mental health place. It's, I forget what the names are, but it's where I pass medication and stuff to people I have. Residential home for mental ill and stuff. He was security guard there.
Over Sebastian, because I think that's what really needs to happen in this time. I am the closest and probably one that's going to end up solving the Summer Wells case, and I am jumping into the Sebastian Rogers thing.
So what interviews do you plan to conduct with certain people in the Sebastian Rogers case? What characters? Do you plan to speak to Katie and Chris?
Me and Chris are going to have we're going to have a talk. It may not be online, but it will be eventually.
He's too close to the speaker.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I'm not afraid of Chris. I'm not afraid of Chris Proudfoot. Like, he bullies everybody around and he pushes his narrative like he does Seth, and he pushes him around. I'm not a bit afraid of him. My team is not a bit afraid of Chris. Not a bit.
Our children.
Just like Don Wells. Don Wells fears me. Candace fears me. All of these predators fear me. There's a reason, because I am that one.
Listen, let me tell you.
I do appreciate you.
I don't fucking fear you at all. And I'm a woman. I don't fear nothing about you at all. And I'm not a predator, and I don't fear you.
I do appreciate you covering these kids and covering me. I really do, because it does get it out there.
Well, I'm not a true crime channel. I just I get my commentary on characters, as you can tell, but I don't consider myself to be a true crime channel.
Did you see me turn the tides on Nicolina and Jimbo today? They didn't even know.
What do you think about that?
Huh?
I said I don't know anything about that.
Oh man, you got to check into that. Tomorrow's going to be a hell of a deal for them. It's going to be bad. It's going to be wild. Half their mean girls are going to drop out. It's going to be awesome
Oh, really? Why do you say that, Ernie?
because I am that man.
Hmm. Well, I mean, so are you willing to go up to a Tennessee state officer or police officer and tell
Well,
them?
we're working with them
Are you still
tomorrow. They all know
confident?
me. Tennessee
Let me
loves
ask
me.
you that.
Tennessee loves me.
Well, I mean, Kentucky, Tennessee, whatever state, it's, are you confident and willing enough to confront a police officer and tell them about your situation with
Well,
the two
you do know that all those times they called police, that we had a police officer let me know exactly ahead of time before the police was going to be there. That way I had a chance to get out, right? You know that.
Can you repeat that?
Bullshit.
Because I
You
didn't
see,
understand.
people
Yeah.
remember me. People remember me for who I am
Bullshit.
and what I did once for the people. So I do have that pull, and I do have that. Well, if you want to call it power or control, you can call it that. I don't call it that because I don't ever use it. But when in need, it ain't what you know, it's who you know. Always remember that.
Okay, so what is your current diagnosis? Do you feel comfortable sharing with us your accurate diagnosis? Do you have liver cancer? Yes or no?
Well, I'm having a second opinion. I'm having a second opinion. One doctor says yes, so that's all I know. And I've only given like 10 months now. It was 11 months, and it's been a month after that. So I am, doing what I need to do. You see how I look? I look a hell of a lot different what I used to look like, but it is what it is.
Did you suspect that you perhaps could have liver cancer when you were experiencing kidney dialysis? Did they examine anything else or look at anything else?
No, I knew on December of last year, but I never said anything.
Okay, that's what I figured. That's what I've been saying here the whole time.
I
Either
never
that,
said anything because I never said anything to one of our own passed away, and I knew I owed it to the people to bring it out. That's the only reason I brought it out. That's the only reason.
hmm. Well, so what did they tell you back in last December exactly? You feel comfortable sharing that?
Well, they started the test. It was actually when all the tests and stuff actually started. I've done a few then, and I didn't go back. And then here in May, I said, well, no, May. Yeah, May. It was May of this year. Uh, I really took it serious, and I found a doctor that, well, I trusted the doctor in Knoxville here, and I went to that doctor and run some tests. He run all the tests. They done everything. I actually had to go to the hospital. And then they started doing all the tests, everything, and he's the one that told me. He was the one that told me the bad news. And it was about 2.5 weeks later. I had to go back, and they checked everything. At first, I mean, I was like, I don't know what this is. I thought it was like colitis or uh, something like that, but I thought it was where I ate that bacteria stuff. But something triggered it. He said it had to trigger it.
Now, what do you mean?
And
You said that you ate bacteria stuff. What exactly? What kind of stuff?
well,
Now,
while I was in New York, I went to a big famous, a big favorite banquet kind of thing, and they had puffer fish, and we had a little bit of puffer fish, and I didn't know exactly what it was I was eating, but
so
it was
that's
a
what
banquet.
happened back in May, correct? If
This
I'm not
happened in
mistaken.
this happened back in last year. This happened last year in August. It was August, right after I talked to my son for his birthday. It was like 10 days later. I went up to New York City and had some puffer fish at a banquet. It was a big banquet served by lawyers and it was a bunch of fancy people, anyways. I had some puffer fish, and it got everybody that ate there at that table. Everybody that had that special banquet meal there, and it was very fucking expensive. Never forget that shit. But everybody got sick. Everybody went to the hospitals. Some people had to have surgery. I sweated it out for about 2.5 weeks.
So
I like
you're
to
not
die.
the one that was affected by this banquet. I don't know if it was a banquet, but the dinner, the taste.
Well, anything in New York City is high as hell. Anything when you get in Manhattan and you've got these special. Well, I don't want to say too much. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to dox people and I don't want to bring people into it. But Rudy Giuliani's cousin, pretty much. I just say family member. I was pretty well known to, and I think everybody knows who that person is. Had invited me, and I went to a banquet, and this is how it happened. So,
Okay. So what did you learn back in May to trigger you to get a professional second opinion?
then I have a 2.5 centimeter, 2.5 centimeter tumor, and that's what I checked out against. You can look at the records. I checked out against AMA. I went against the medical advice. I kind of got triggered a little bit, and my buddy Steve was with me, and Steve, he could vouch for it, all that. And the doctor was like, "Well, look, man, you really don't. I mean, I don't know how to say this, but you may not even have that long to live." And I was like, "Do what?" He said, "I'll probably give you 11 months." But I was sick as fuck, and I looked awful. I
He
looked
said,
like a walking dead zombie. I literally looked bad.
how long did he give you to live, the doctor? How long did you say?
He, he told me 11 months.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what Steve told me. Yeah.
Oh,
So
God.
you can imagine I'm in a same state pretty much, but a different doctor from another state, and that's what I'm using right now.
Well, you know, that's
A
that's
friend, a friend. I'll just say a friend. That's the best way to say it, a friend. Uh, um, but right now, I mean, I'm more focused on, my outside appearance and gaining my weight and getting my strength back, and my inside is killing me, and I understand that, but
now. Does it hurt to lie down at night, Ernie?
it does sometimes. Yes,
What do you feel?
I hurt. I mean, bones. At first, my bones was really like they pop and hurt. My joints would hurt real bad. My side was killing me. And my back, I had some trouble on my back. But after I started gaining, see, I lost like 38 pounds. When I lost that 38 pounds, like I went down to nothing. Like 112, 113 pounds is what I weighed. And that was hard. I couldn't even sit in chairs. I couldn't get around them. I'd rather lay in the concrete. And I went up to New York City and done that project, pretty much being homeless, and just to see if I could survive. And I survived pretty good and be sick. I survived it for about 9 days. And then I got the job offering from AMR, and I went and started working for, my boss, my current, he's actually still my current boss. I still do some drives and stuff for him and stuff like that when I can. But
Where where is AMR located? Their
I think
corporate.
I think the corporation is actually out west in Colorado. That's why I went first. That's why I went to the pretty much to get my, to get everything to test. I took the test and stuff there. I done it all live. I was clear to everybody. I mean, I wasn't trying to hide
Now you're
anything,
talking
but
about your current job, right?
well, my current job is a little bit different now. I've been paid a substantial amount of money to look into other things. Let's just say that.
Hmm. So, how long were you you said that you were a private investigator, correct?
Yes.
How long were you private investigator and from what years?
5 years, 4 or 5 years. But I've been a bounty hunter for about 19, 20
From
on.
what years?
So anytime you do with skip tracing and investigations of any sort, I mean, a bounty hunter, I mean, you pretty much do private investigating work as well.
Would
But
you still
as a private
consider?
investigator, I work for ASI. I mean, you look it up. I work for ASI. We done pretty much like incidents and corporation. We work for a lot of corporations, so. But we would do anything. We would do anything that contracts came out, just depending on what the bid was for the money.
And they have offices in Tennessee.
I worked in Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Florida. I worked a lot of places. I worked 10 different states. I was like licensed in 10 different states at that time.
So, why exactly? What motivates you? Let me ask you this: what motivates you the most to get involved into the search with Sebastian Rogers?
Well, with the Sebastian Rogers case, to be honest with you, I done all I could do for the Summer Wells case, and even talking with law enforcement here just a few days ago, I knew that the new law enforcement that's coming in, the new TBI that's over everything now, that's going to be solved. I look for Don and Candace to be arrested in a week or so. Honestly, I really do. Maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's another.
That's just my say.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I was wanting to ask you about that as well. The claims that you think allegedly.
Well, that's what I think. It's what I was told. It's what I was told, and it's what Don Wells had pretty much had mentioned beforehand. And I just put stuff together with what Candace told me.
So Candace, did she hint directly towards Summer drowning at the swimming hole?
She didn't drown. She hit her head. She slipped and hit her head. And there was a gash or something in her head, they said. And
that's what she told you?
Yes.
Okay. And then you also said that Candace. Now, can you explain more about this claw hammer?
I think
that
you echoed out. I couldn't understand. Well, I mean, the hammer was brought up by Don Wells, and when he brought that up, Candace, I don't know whether she just went with it or what, but she did say that. She did say that, that he was the one that took a hammer and with Summer. But if you notice, when I was on panel with Don never said yes or no about that answer. He was like, "Oh, he's a dumbass," but he didn't confirm it, and he didn't damn sure deny it. So I know, here's the thing about it. I can only go by what the main two suspects, which is the father and the mother, tell me and say. How I get my information from them, well, sometimes it is a little dirty. Sometimes it is not for the faint heart. But I get my information. I get what I need, either through free text or other means.
So how many times have you and Candace Wells ever met in person, if any?
3.
Oh, really? Really?
I thought it was 2, but I remembered I went by. Well, I didn't go by. We actually met outside toward Kingsport one time, so I forgot about that. I wasn't even in Predator Hunter Nation at that time. It was later.
What? So, okay. So you met with Candace twice, right? Or 3 times?
Twice while in Predator Hunter Nation, yes. Well, yes. I mean, but the last time I met with her was way afterwards. I want to say maybe a month and a half, 2 months after that, after I'd left Predator Hunter Nation. Probably maybe about 2.5 months. I have to look at the timelines. I've got a lot of the files. I already turned everything in. I mean, I've been turning things in. Hell, I went to Nashville. And met with them. So, and that's documented. You can go ahead and do that. I mean, I've already been visited by the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI. Hell, I've been visited by everybody, and I've been found true. I don't know why everybody don't understand that. But anyways, it is what it is, and I am that man. That's all I can say right now about that. About that deal right there. But I will answer your questions. I don't care to answer your questions. I actually kind of like when you're doing your little shows and stuff. Sometimes I actually kind of tune in sometimes.
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm doing is asking questions because it's just randomly off the top of my head, and the Summer Wells case, she's been gone for 3 years. Let me ask you, what would be your second alternative if you don't think that Dawn and Candace were involved? Do you think that she succumbed to an accident outside and I don't know?
No. Okay, so you have to understand. I was the one that brought it out about Dawn Wells and Summer, that Dawn took showers with Summer. I was the one that brought that out. I was the one who had Dawn Wells say that to. Dawn Wells told me that. He was the one, and I thought it was hard to even conduct the damn interview after that was brought out. I mean, that was hard. That was very, very hard because I was like stumped. Like, what man takes damn showers with his daughter, like literally, and and then the man that's dead. The thing about it is, you have to look at most people in this case is dead.
Now, when you're
Most
talking
people were
about,
killed.
let me cut you off for 1 second. You're talking about Jose Roman, right?
Yes, Jose.
Okay.
But look at how many people have been killed and missing and dead in this case now. I'm one of the only ones left. And I've been threatened. I've been, but there's a difference between me and him. Big difference.
Yeah, there's a huge difference. I don't know. I've made one video about the Jose incident, and I don't know what to say about that. I personally think that it's completely unrelated to what happened to Summer Wells. I think that Jose, he had his own issues going on. And
Well, you do know Jose was the one that got into it with Don Wells over supposedly.
Yeah, I know all of this. I've been around since.
Okay. That's good. I'm glad you got your homework because I really haven't done no homework on it. I got into this by accident, and pretty much you can imagine if I'd actually studied the case. I didn't really even study the case. Didn't have time to. I really didn't have time to. Candace Wells, if I didn't text her or call her and let her know what was going on, was always calling me and texting me at that time. So I never had time to even look into it. So when people talk about these factors and these other people that's coming in, it was like a flavor of the month. Literally, it was a flavor of the month. It was hard. It was very, very hard. Plus, we was getting attacked, and I had Andrew. Andrew will confirm this. I had Andrew. I said, Andrew, I'm going to solve this case, but in order to do that, I need this heat took off me. And Andrew, he understood the assignment, and he took a lot of the heat off of me. He took enough heat off of me that way people would start on him, and he took it and bared it through Hunter. And the next thing you know, I was able to get relaxed and be able to get back in myself and be able to do what needs to be done and still talk to Candace and still get this stuff done. And that was kind of earlier on. That was like when the Panda things come out about Andrew. When I hit him with that, that's when we started talking. I started talking to Andrew. I found out that Andrew wasn't really a part of anything going on. He does have a different world that he's a part of, but that's neither here nor there when it comes to the Summer Wells case. And that's pretty much what I had happen. I had to have it happen. And I do think, and a lot of people don't like me for that, but I do thank Andrew for what he done, because Andrew is a major, major key in helping if this is what solves the case.
See, I'm glad that you brought that up because I've watched your content when you were, there was one live stream back in 2021, and you were talking about the Facebook pedophile groups. And a lot of people don't know about that information. So I'm going to ask you this, and I've asked you this in your chat. These people that you meet off Grindr that you're impersonating being a minor, is there law enforcement that is involved within your operations?
Well, there always was. There always was. It was just decided that the TCA code in Tennessee wouldn't allow the DA to prosecute them. That's the only thing. They could be arrested, they could be whatever, but after the DA said they ain't prosecuting them in that certain place, I mean, it was in Newport. But we could go over to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, and Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge loved us. So, I mean, there's a big difference between what was going on and what wasn't going on. That's all I know. That's all I really know about it. I mean, I've done them in New Jersey and I've done them in other places. And, well, back when I was really, really, really afraid around her. And it all turned out pretty damn good. But a lot of people don't know a lot about me, and it's coming out. It'll come out.
Well, see, there was one incident that I was reading in Corbin, Kentucky, and that you saved someone from being stabbed. I could be getting that wrong, but can you go more into that? What exactly happened?
It was at Nibrock. It was in Nibrock. It was a big festival. The police was on the other end, and this guy attacked this woman with her baby. And what got me, there was like 15 or 20 men that was standing around in there. It was right there at I think it was the Hardee's or Wendy's. It was Hardee's, I think, on Main Street there. And nobody would step in. Nobody was doing anything. And he was going to hurt this woman and this baby. She had a baby in her arms. And I put myself in the situation, I guess you'd say, and I ended up disarming him and holding him down till the police got there. And of course, I took the knife away from him and all that. I mean, when I put my hands
back in 2017, right?
Yeah, 17 or 18, something like that.
And this is in Mid-Rock. Now, where is that? Is that Corbin or is that London or Manchester?
It's Corbin, Kentucky. You familiar with Kentucky?
Oh yeah, I'm from Somerset.
Oh God, I already hate you. No, I like Somerset. I got some people up in Somerset.
Somerset.
I like Somerset. I do like Somerset though. It's calm. It's cool. It's a cool place. I like Somerset. Used to do a lot of wrestling in Somerset.
It's all right. I hear some think it's a trash hole, but that's my hometown.
Do you remember Dave's After Dark?
Dave's After Dark. Yes, I do. Yes.
I used to be a part of that, something like that. Let's just say that.
So, what is your?
Now you're going to go for the investigation, ain't you?
Hey, what did you say again? I forgot it unless you told me before.
No, they used to do wrestling. They used to do the wrestling and special entertainment stuff there, and I done a few shows.
Wow.
Do what? You remember that?
Well, I never did go to Dave's After Dark, but I know I'm familiar with it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Do you know an individual that goes by the name of Brett Watkins off Grindr?
Who is it?
Brett, B-R-E-E, or B-R-E-T. Yeah, B-R-E-T Watkins. P. Watkins.
Well, personally, when we use these apps, Grindr is not the only one that's used. It's just that it's like a 70% chance on Grindr that we meet most of the people online trying to meet children for sex. I mean, that was just a fact. There's also other sites that we used at the same time. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, I don't want to go into the statistics and everything because I'm going to get called out on it, but it is a fact. It is a fact that we could do, I mean, if we wanted to do predator stings, we could do them all day long. We could do 3 or 4 a day easily.
How did you, I have to ask you this. Why did you choose Grindr out of all apps to do your Predator Hunter Nation or Predator?
Well, that wasn't the first choice. That wasn't the first choice. That was not the first choice. but that was the one that got the most hits. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
Especially in Newport.
it does make sense, because one thing that I can testify against, because I'm very familiar with Grindr, and all my audience knows that. If you've been following me for a long time, all of my subscribers know it from every platform. But there's a lot of solicitation that goes on Grindr, prostitution, drug deals, and what Ernie said, human trafficking, that does go on and is implemented into the Grindr app. People utilize it as a way to, I guess you would say, recruit people.
Are there other people from Somerset in here?
I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know. I haven't even been looking at the chat because there's 50 new messages, but I do that on purpose because I'll get sidetracked. So
No, but let's continue on. We could always have this another time. Look, people who are genuine and they really want to get down into business and learn and understand, I'm all for. I don't care to help be clear. I'll be clarity all the way through. I have nothing to hide at all.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still questionable about you. I don't know you at the end of the day. You don't know me. I don't know if you've looked up on my past, but there's not much to find besides a hit and run and some other misdemeanor charges that were dropped, that were expunged. But I have nothing to hide, and that's, I guess.
No. I mean, I don't have anything against you other than that you slapped your boyfriend, but that's all. I'll just play it.
Well, yeah, you're talking about Jeremy Hudson. Yeah, I'll go ahead and admit up to it. Yeah, I didn't slap him in the side.
I don't have nothing against you, man. I mean, I understand. It's great.
I punched him upside the face because I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, that's one thing that I've actually said and got into that story here on my YouTube channel. So I don't know how many people saw it, but
Well, you can see I did do my homework a little bit, right?
Well, yeah, but one thing that you should know was he was in my house, and
well, no, I was just making content out of it. Just as when I said that. Yeah, I know exactly where it happened at.
yeah, I know, but I'm just letting it be known for anybody that wants to go look it up in case it's available. He was inside my house, not my house, but my grandmother's house, where I was the resident at for over 10 years. So he was inside their house. And at the time, they were inside the nursing home. He was trying to push me out of bed because he was belligerent drunk and on Xanax. I'm talking 3 bars of Xanax. And he was an alcoholic too. And he was trying to push me out of the bed when I was trying to go to sleep, and I had to work the next morning. So I let him inside the bedroom purposely. Because I know.
If my recollection serves me well, you worked in the store, didn't you?
You what?
You worked in the store, right?
Yeah, I worked at the local store, yes.
Yes, okay, good deal. Thank you. I'm just making sure I have all my facts straight.
Yep, that happened. But the point is, he was inside the house. You can't do anything. You have the right to stand your ground.
Well, no, he was belligerent anyways, like you said, and what happened, it was bound to happen. But I'm not trying to fault you or nothing out on that, or nothing like that. I just said it just to show you that I did do my homework on you.
Yeah, I know. And I'm sure that a lot of people, they did do that. And, it's one of the things that I've talked about here on my channel. That's why I'm saying most people, they find me boring because there's not much to talk about on me. So, But I do appreciate you coming up here and taking time to listen to my questions that I presented to you.
Well, you had some pretty interesting questions, and
You know,
I've seen you just ask the chat questions before like that, and I was like, well, this is intriguing. I like this. It's a different way of questioning. A lot of people have never tried to question me like that, but yes, I like that. It's something new, and it's like I said, it's fresh. It's fresh, and I like that.
yeah, like I said, I'm not a true crime channel, so yeah, I get my commentary on. I've been talking about P. Diddy, Harry Styles. I focus more on the Hollywood factor of news, besides including
Well, let
this.
me ask you a question. Well, let me ask you. Let me say this. Why does Los Angeles County, L.A., Hollywood, whatever you want to call it, why does their star, their badge, have the pedophilia sign, a boy lover on it?
Oh, I can answer that question. Well, I can't answer that question, but I can refer you to somebody that may know. You know, Mr. Shell, you should ask Douglas Hutton.
I have a date with Doug soon, very, very, very soon.
Douglas Hutton, yeah, the same one that was accused in a hazing incident back in 1998, where he was allegedly a part of, allegedly for entertainment purposes only.
So let me tell you before you do this.
Starting
Douglas Hutton.
broomsticks up someone's anal cavity, allegedly. Go ahead.
Yeah, allegedly. I said allegedly on that, even though it's true. So the fact of the matter is, I was on a special operations for Special Forces of Liberty. We was doing de facto Attorney General stuff. We was doing stuff with the Attorney General office, and we was going around passing bills for saving children. And this son of a bitch, literally, he got me up there like he was going to help me, like he was going to help us, because everything came out of our pocket. Everything came out of our pocket. And we ended up passing. There's like 37 states that adopted the Save Our Children Act, which is a SOCA Act. Now, I promoted this, and I've got behind the scenes stages or videos that I've not released yet, which I'm gonna start releasing a lot of it. I've just been putting stuff out here lately. But he gets me on panel, and he brings this damn. Oh my God, what is her name? She's got another bill. It's another bill. It's a whole new section, different bill. But me and her was partners on this. We was actually partners. And he deliberately demolished everything we was doing. So when I do see Doug Hutton, and I'm hoping anybody can out. I don't want to say this on your panel, but I ain't gonna whip his ass. It's simple as that. I'm gonna bust him hard as I can in the face, as hard as I can.
Let me tell you
Knock his
something.
teeth out.
Say whatever you want to up here. Go ahead, say it, as long as it's allegedly or for entertainment purposes only.
At that time, I wasn't familiar really with YouTube. I didn't have the following. Well, I mean, I had a little bit of a following, but nowhere near what I have now. So, Douglas Hutton, no thanks. We're on the same page here, right? No thanks is who it was. Literally has his chat. Like we had, he destroyed, like literally, he destroyed a lot of the things that he said he would set up for us and all that. But anyways, we was in Kentucky. It was in Kentucky at the time. We was going to the state house the next day, and we had depended on him for hotels because he said he could do it. So here I am out all day long, and we're sitting here, we're lobbying, we're doing all this stuff, and we actually got it through. We got it through. I don't think Kentucky may have adopted it later on and passed it. You have to check that out. I don't know. I wasn't with it at the time. But we went through every state house in the United States. We did this shit. We actually did this shit. And while we was in Kentucky, I came back and we was checking in. And of course, all the politicians was meeting that day. So the hotel was right across from the state house, pretty much. It's that mid Kentucky place and everything. So, that was Doug's idea. Doug's idea to, for that hotel. He's like, well, I'll get you a real nice hotel and everything. Da, 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 da. Let me handle all this. Da, 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 da. Anyways, we get back there. There's nothing booked, nothing that. But, we weren't used to sleeping in hotels anyways. We had our sleeping bags out, and we would sleep in the back of the vehicles. So, we had the 30 below or the 30 degrees, when it was cold and everything. We had all the sleeping bags. We had stuff like that. We knew what we was in for. So, but at that time, all the other hotels and stuff, and I'm telling you, it was freezing freaking cold outside, had booked up because of the politicians and stuff. It all come there. They come there, they fly in there, and they have them hotels that's right beside and the other hotels. So it just packed full. It was packed. No hotels nowhere. So we ended up sleeping back outside. That was okay. It was okay. I mean, I'm used to doing that. So the next morning we get up and we've got a meeting with one of the senators in Kentucky. I can't remember the name. I've actually still got his card somewhere. But they get us their foot in the door so we can go and we can try to pass this SOAP Act, which is the Save Our Children Act. And then we get the bill taken from us, of course, and they're looking at it, and it's presented on the floor. It's presented on the floor. It goes through. At that time, it did not make it into law. I'll be the first one to say that. It did not make it into law. It got cast out. It got cast back. It was a few things that needed to be done to it. So it was rewrote. When we went to Florida, we submitted it into into their system, and all of a sudden, anyways, their governor, Ron, he picked it up and he passed it automatically. What he did is he had his team look over it and do a few change-ups, and then he went and passed it into law. I mean, he signed right off the bat, like in 3 or 4 days. But where they had changed it up, it didn't go by the Constitution. It said other things. And then, of course, 5 days later, it got kicked back out because they sued them for it. But they brought it back to the original person that created the bill was Chris Severe. I know a lot of people don't like Chris Severe, but he did create the bills. He was one that helped with. He was one of the lawyers at the time who wrote it. And I've seen him go up against Apple. He had Apple on the standstill. Apple, Samsung, all of them was on a standstill. And literally, they had all their lawyers, and he was standing over there by himself, and he was defeating all these lawyers. And then all of a sudden, he just like, you know what? I just wanted to prove I could get you all in here and make you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally. And he did that. And then he got hit because he took his laptop, and he said, you know what? Since you can marry this or that, I'm going to marry my laptop. That's what he said. That's what he's known for now. The media hit him up hard on that, and that's the key on that. Now, what he's done after that, I'm not a part of. I don't know anything about him anymore. Only thing I did, I went because of the Save Our Children Act and helped lobby. I helped lobby and be in the face of it because I was a predator hunter, and at the time, and we went viral everywhere. So that's the Save Our Children Act. But that's the story about Doug and what he'd done. But it is what it is.
Yeah, so there's an inside joke among people that know this information. I don't know if you know this information, but back in 1998, there was a broomstick that the high school students referred to as Pedro, and there was a hazing incident that occurred at Doug's high school. His his dad was like, well, he wasn't there that day, allegedly.
Well, his dad was a cop.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's the whole point. That's the whole point of the story. Like his dad was like, well, he wasn't there that day, and the school came out and they wanted to pursue charges. And I don't know what happened from that, but Doug, seeing him chase a black man, profiling a black man on the streets of LA, I wouldn't put it past him. I just wouldn't put it past him. He's a racist. He's a bigot. He's a piece of shit. Doug Hutton. He's an exploiter. He's a tragedy pimp.
Have you got a laptop?
Yeah, I got a Chromebook. It's on my last leg, though.
Okay. Well, if you
Yeah, it
get
has
time, if you
to
get
remain
time,
plugged in constantly for it to. It has to remain plugged in constantly for it to stay
I
alive.
understand. If you get time and you can be able to show it to the people, there's a video of me, Doug, and Griff, us three, and I make Doug take his shirt off. You remember that? And everybody starts laughing.
Is that the same time that he showed his Viennese sausage?
No, this is funny as shit. So I took the video and I made cause Griff was sitting there biting on his straw as Doug was sitting there flexing and showing what he's got, and I was just sitting there laughing because I throwed him into that and he didn't even know what I put him into. He said, "You know what?" He thought I said I said something about fat people or something like that. And he got all offensive and he jumped up. Does this look like it's fat? He takes his shirt off, and I swear to God, it looked like a bowl full of gravy it poured out. I laughed my ass off. I was sitting there and I was like, "Oh yeah, like this." And I was just going along with it. And Griff was sitting there eyeballing Doug, and he was sitting there biting hard on his damn straw. So I put that, Marvin Gaye song. I put that in with the clip. Everybody laughed their ass off. I mean, I had thousands and thousands of views on that. It was funny as hell. But it's on YouTube. People laugh their ass off of it sometimes.
Y'all, I'm just cracking up within your comments in the chat. I'm just now looking at the chat. I've been refraining from looking at the chat because I didn't want to get sidetracked. So so Ernie, I've asked you enough questions myself. Let's open up the chat to see if they have any questions for Mr. Shell, for anybody that is watching. And let me go ahead and turn it off subscribers only mode so anybody that is watching can ask Lightning Tiger any questions that they want to address. Go ahead, take over.
Oh, I'm just ready for you to ask questions. I don't see. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's see. I still got the GoPro. Okay, let's see. Where we're at. Oh, Lord. Okay, let's see. Ernie, I seen your trailer park fight. That was a wild one.
Okay, everybody,
Right.
the chat is open for anybody that wants to ask questions. Well,
To make it fair, you pick the questions and I'll go ahead and answer them.
Okay, well, it's whatever you want to do, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know that you want to get rest, and I don't want to keep you up too much. It's 2:37 where I'm at right now on Central
Well, I'm
Time.
hoping, all that's come into effect with the cease and desist on these other YouTubers, and we'll be able to go to the Sebastian thing and just kind of do our thing behind the scenes. I don't want to be in the public eye, but behind the scenes and get our answers what we need that way.
Well, let's say that you do meet Katie and Chris Proudfoot, just theoretically, just allegedly, whatever. What questions are you going to ask them? What do you want to know?
Well, it's more like his demeanor. I'm looking for more of characteristics. I'm looking more for his demeanor and how he acts and how he actually even say like one of the questions is, I mean, I could start it out anyway, as long as I do the who, what, when, where, how, in those 5 steps. I could ask the question anyways, like I would never say why. I don't want to say why, because of why, if you know why, you got the hypothesis of it, and I don't want to do that. I would say, well, from your point of view, who is the last person who actually seen Sebastian? You start off easy, something like that. Something that I already probably pretty much know the answer to, but, I don't want to go too much into it. I want to kind of relax it in.
So let's see. Dale C, one of my awesome kick-ass mods, asked, Ernie, do you remember me? Do you know Dale C? What is your affiliations?
Oh, seems familiar. Dale C. Dale C. That name Dale does seem familiar. He'd have to tell me exactly. I mean, I know a couple of different Dales. That's the only hang up on that. So if he could, elaborate a little bit on it, and I could probably be able to pinpoint it then.
Sorry, y'all. I'm still here. I had to step away from the camera. Uh, Brand new, still used to it. I'm looking for it. How does your guest know Doug Hutton? How do you know Doug Hutton, Ernie? I'm going to step away because I need to go take a piss.
Pretty much, Doug Hutton through the Summer Wells case. He had invited me up on panel, and then after that, of course, I was a regional director in Kentucky for the Special Forces at Liberty, and he invited me back up on panel. That's when he pretty much screwed me. But anyways, it is what it is. That's how I know Doug. Him and Benny was fighting, and I think it was over was it the Cal City Boys or something like that? So it was something like that. But he'd always bring that up, and what is that one dude's name? Duke Furrow or whatever. They would always bring him up, stuff like that. So
Let's see, what else do we have here? Did you bang Candace Wells? So, Ernie, did you have sex with Candace Wells? There's a rumor out there that the two of you hooked up. Did you bang her? Yes
no. Only thing I did was stroked her hair.
Anything else?
Like she literally put her head on my chest, and I ran my fingers through her hair while she was sitting there crying. I was sitting here like, what in the fuck have I got myself into?
Okay, all right. Doug Hutton, where are the boys? Ty Corbin, yes. Well, Doug Hutton, I'm sure he's going to watch this. He's probably not watching this right now, but he's probably going to hear wind of it. But that would be something that you would have to ask Viennese Sausage. Markella, go back and see and ask Isaac if he knows Phil. They're talking about the other Isaac. See, there's two Isaacs. My name is Isaac. That's what I go by here on YouTube. Isaac. But there's also an Isaac. I don't know who that Isaac is.
That's something I don't even know what they're talking about. But
Ty Corbin wants to know, as you, a
I heard
private.
he was in Tennessee. I mean, I've actually heard he was in Tennessee as well. So here with where we're at. So I don't know exactly where. Like I said, I've been very, very busy. But when I do run up on him, I am going to do my best to knock his teeth out.
Where does Doug Hutton live now? Can you answer that?
Again, I just heard Tennessee. I don't know. I don't know exactly. I mean, this has been like 2 years ago. About 2 years ago now.
Not the public cause that the Proudfoots want, says Jamie Katz.
Jamie Katz is a pedo simp, so I don't pretty much go into that.
YouTube kicked him off again.
Wow.
Thank you, LOL. Yeah, are you talking about Doug Hutton?
Wow, Ernie.
He's on kick, maybe. Yeah, they're talking about Doug.
Oh yeah.
So let me ask you about this. What is this whole deal about you being allegedly involved in the attempted, too many A's, assassination?
Just some people called in, just like they did on me on January 6th. They've had the FBI investigate me from January 6th on. It's always been either Department of Homeland Security. They came twice. The FBI, I've been investigated by them twice, and I've always been found true. There was one time in the FBI that I said some things about this guy because he had a gun and there was children involved, and he pointed a gun or something at him, and I told him I would.
Yes.
Anyways,
But I'm still.
I said some things, and his sister went straight to the damn FBI. The next thing you know, they throw my whole Facebook and everything up, and I've got that damn cover page on of Homeland Security, that we are the Homeland Security. It's got the guys with all the guns and shit. So it's just a meme. It was just a meme, and literally they like really tried to railroad me with that because I was going to kill this guy. Simple as that.
Oh, he was.
And I mean it. I mean every word I said.
I haven't seen the meme, Ernie. I haven't seen the meme. What did the meme depict? Honestly, I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I haven't seen the meme.
It said it said this is our Homeland Security, and it had a bunch of rednecks and stuff with weapons and stuff, and I kind of put that for my cover page.
Yeah, I'm loving every minute of it.
Oh.
And I learned a very valuable lesson, very valuable, because if they want to push it on you, they can take it to the FBI or whatever, and whatever it says on your status on Facebook, like your job status or whatever, they can actually hold that against you and charge you with felonies. I didn't know that.
Actually, I should be bigger than my guess.
Why do you think that Nicolina was the cause of this?
Don't you?
Well, they want me out of everything. They want me out of the equation. They've always wanted me out of the equation. I outed her and Jimbo and all them other people. If you have to look at it, you know, the people that they promoted was Rap. You've heard about Rap, right?
Yeah, he was. I don't know much about it. I know he got arrested and he tried.
Yeah.
And,
well, Nicolina had said that.
I don't know about the dude.
I mean, she obviously lied. She obviously lied to a bunch of people, and he got indicted for rape. And the next thing you know, Nicolina's all butthurt and all that, and hating my guts pretty much, and she wants me gone, wants me off this earth. So it is what it is. Oh,
So
Lord.
Tony wants to know if Rap is still locked up. Are you okay, Ernie? Do you need to get off here?
Come here, all
No,
your.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm okay.
The Tigers
I'm good,
podcast
brother.
incorporated them in the soap opera.
It's just I don't take narcotics for anything. I don't take pain medication. I literally go through it every night about 3:30, 4 o'clock.
And I will rest.
I start hurting. I hurt real bad. It's by the time I take my medicines about 7 o'clock in the morning.
12.
But no, but keep on. Continue on. Continue on questions. I'm good with this.
Yeah, she wants to, or they. I don't know who they are, but Tony wants to know, is Rap still locked up? Now, that's one. Why exactly did Rap get locked up, Ernie? I don't know much about these characters. I've just been primarily focused on you. If you've been following my content.
Well, I would look. I tell you what we could do. I can send you the videos, send you all the security footage and stuff like that, and send you all his. When he pretty much admitted rape 4 different times. Different times he admitted it, and it's on video. And they turned that into the prosecutor and the people, and the woman went and filed charges on him. She gave him a chance to get out of Tennessee. Of course, he didn't. And then she filed everything, literally. I mean, to be honest with you, he was, I don't know, aggravated some shit or something like that, stalking and stuff, and then the rape charge. He has a rape charge. He's trying to fight it right now, so he don't have to register as an RSO for the rest of his life. But he's not going to win that battle. He will not win that battle. He will go to prison for about 5 to 7 years, probably, and we'll see what happens.
See, I know Rap. I know that creator's name. He was affiliated with BK, at one time, wasn't he? In attacks against you or dissing you constantly, kind of like what Crafting was doing.
Please put your thumbs up.
Yeah, you're right.
Please.
But I don't even know this person. He had no reason to do me that way. He actually stopped a lot of our investigations and what we was working on. It was very, very important. And I finally just got fed up with it. And of course, he went. Well, he done what he did actually. And I told the female beforehand. Everybody on panel, I said, you're going to end up doing her wrong and doing something wrong to her. And it went like a couple weeks later, it did happen. And but anyways, I got blamed for the one that put him up and stuff. To be honest with you, I did set him up. I hit him with a sting operation when he went to the Summer Wells thing. When he went to the missing children thing with Jinkies, her sister set her up, and I set Rap up. It was all of a thing for him to be arrested that day. So yes, I do take responsibility on that because they couldn't find him. They couldn't get him, and they couldn't find him. It's much like me running from Kentucky, as everybody says. The fact of the matter is, I do have charges in Kentucky. I do have things in Kentucky. I've not been convicted of anything, but I stay out of Kentucky. When they say it's extraditable, well, I went to jail in Florida.
Exactly.
And Florida ran my stuff, and then they went to Kentucky and said, hey, we got this guy. Well, they weren't going to spend $20,000 on a special team to come down and pick me up, right? They weren't going to pick me up at that time. So,
come on, guys.
So I was like, well,
they're the whole
I found out then that they're not going to put that kind of money out there. And then, of course, my friends from
this bullshit.
Other alphabet places, like I got a real good friend that's in the U.S. Marshal's office. He retired. It was, I want to say, 24 years as a trooper or something, and then he went to he was a U.S. Marshal, and then went to the state troopers. So, but anyways, I get to find out all kinds
of
information. A lot of other people really can't find out, and I run FCRAs and CRAs, and where I work for, I do side work for dating sites. You know what I'm talking about, the dating sites?
Well, I mean,
like Match.com,
Exactly. That's why I've been muted.
I do their background. I do some of the background sometimes. I get paid like a percentage to do that, so I do like some of the backgrounds when we run the FCRAs. And that way, if they ever sign, see, a CRA, they have to sign. FCRA, they don't have to sign. But whenever they sign for a background, like they're really wanting to get matched up with a person, when you pay that so much that you have to create an account and all that, and once they give you a credit card or whatever, well, you got their name, you got everything about them, so you can run that background right then and there, and already have it waiting just to see if they ain't got no just to make sure there are no RSO and make sure there are no kind of violent offenders and everything. Because you don't want to hook a nice looking woman up, a well put together person like that with somebody who's a creep. And I used to do that stuff. I actually still get some of the contracts. I don't really have the time to fool them now. I mean, they pay pretty good, but it's just can't.
Right,
I'm working with a new company now. Well, I'm not physically working with them. We've been in talks.
I know.
And they charge, I don't know, $10,000 or $15,000 each person to find their mates and stuff. They actually do like coachings and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then there's another one that charges like $5,000 or $6,000, which is an even better deal for people.
Can I cut you off?
Go ahead.
Tony wants to know, is Kentucky where you had the stolen van on the freeway? Now, can you clarify that? Because it came from out of Ohio, from my understanding, right?
Well, the vehicle came from Georgia. We had picked the vehicle up. It had been wrecked. It was wrecked in 2018. It was tore out of hell. So he paid $20,000 when we got there to pick the vehicle up. So the vehicle was in not too good a condition anyways. It had some cosmetic work that would have been done on it, and but the inside was shit pretty much. So I drove the vehicle from Georgia all the way up to Ohio. Ohio, I took my school and took my test. It was like a 1 or 2 day test. I was tired as hell. So I took my test, passed my test, and I started driving for a boat. And what happened is, Benny Keys at that time, he was hitting me so hard with shit. I literally, he had just hit my mom. He had hit my mom and people. And I was already in an uproar. And when my mom just messaged me out of the blue, I snapped. I kind of just went into a PTSD attack. And
what did he do with to your mom? What did he do to your mother?
Well, Benny Keys was, like back in the day, everything I would do, anything, he was always making something,
Yeah, there's been hundreds.
demonic out of it. He would call people over and over and over and over. Like when I would go live, he would call me so many times that I couldn't even do a live. It kept on coming across the screen, and he would just keep hitting talk, And you couldn't remember the days in Messenger, you couldn't block the calls. It was before you couldn't block them, that people could call in. I had like 150 phone calls from him in like just a matter of minutes. Like literally, he would just keep calling and calling and calling, and I didn't want to hear him because he triggered me. He really got to me. It wasn't until after I had certain things done to me that I was understanding and being able to be able to cope with things, and I was able to implement processes and do things of different than what I was doing. Let's just say that. Better judge a character.
Now, Lisa Keckler wants to know, Ernie, what is your opinion on Tim Mullins inserting himself inside the Summer Wells family and the case itself, which is one of the things that I've always wondered where this guy came from, was Tim Mullins. Where did he come from again? Do you know
Well, wasn't he like some kind of musician or something like that?
Not you.
The only interactions I have with Tim Mullins is at the Summer Wells vigil. I dressed up like an old man, and if you watched it live, you could see it. I about get hit by a car, and I'm out there. I walk by Dolly. I walk by all of them. Nobody recognizes me, and then I go back out to where my I must say the vehicle was at. It wasn't really a vehicle. It was more of a trailer-like kind of thing. I start changing up and everything, and people were like, man, people love that. I was like, what are you talking about? So I didn't even know I was being videoed, but obviously I was being videoed, and that's Tim Miller, or let's see, when I was pulling his left silicone mask off, we was in I want to say it was a Ford Excursion, or no, Expedition. It was it may have been Excursion. It was one of the bigger kind of SUVs. Yeah. And as I was pulling the mask off, I kind of popped my head out. When I popped my head out, I looked and I could see Tim walking toward me. So I reached back in the back and put the crocodile hat back on. I put the crocodile hat on and started walking toward him, and he seen me, and oh my God, his eyeball, I'll never forget that. He looked like he's seen a damn ghost. It was funny as hell. He starts running, and I'm like, I ain't running after the motherfucker. But anyways,
innocent proven guilty. Hello, anybody into the chat? I've been trying to keep up with the chat. This person says, Howie, this dude has lied more times on your show than he's ever lied. I hope you do your research. What is your response to that, Ernie?
Innocent until proven guilty is a pedo simp. He's Jimbo's buddy, sir. They're Jimbo's buddy. So anything they say, I don't know much about. I really don't.
Good.
So I'm telling the truth. I can back shit up. I got dude's ass. I was there. So I done a live afterwards on it.
So with Benny Keys, let me ask you directly: Did Benny Keys try to, or did he cause you to go into counseling or therapy or seek out help?
I did at first. I was, and I'll tell you what, I was paying $25 for copay, and I had to go see. I actually put myself in it. I went and seen kind of like a therapist, and kind of helped me cope with stuff. Because I was on medications at the time too. I was on some real bad medications. Hell, I was taking Buspar. And Buspar is what they prescribe to police officers, a lot of enforcement officers sometimes when they.
So facts. Interesting that he was on Buspar as well. That's an anti-anxiety medication.
When they kill somebody or something like that, they have to do the 2-week evaluation, and they take them off the force for a little bit, right? Give them lighter duty. They put them on desk work and not out in the field after they've done that until the investigation's over and they're cleared. So I kind of went through something similar to that, but different colors.
Touch you if you've been dope, especially the drops.
That's pretty much what happened.
That string will just have to stay off of you, I guess.
Sorry, I've been looking at the chat, seeing if we have any more questions. Hey, Markella, if I haven't tuned in yet, or if I haven't said hi yet.
By the officer. He said a gun was pulled on
Markella.
and the van was stolen.
See, I don't know who. I don't know.
That's not Cruella de Vil or some shit. But anyways, go ahead.
No, I don't know the backstory to any of these people. Lisa Kettler said that Benny said that Tim wanted him to go really hard for Ernie.
Yes, he did.
About that?
Yes. That's why the FBI told Benny Keys not to say my name no more. But anyways,
so the FBI.
Let's do this.
Lowest of the lowest.
You got my. Okay, so you done your homework. You got my email, right? Obviously.
Yeah, I've emailed you before. Yes.
Let's. You can record it, but let's talk off live.
I think so too.
And you can record it. And I'll tell you more about.
I need to be put.
What's really going on? I'll tell you more what's really going on. You can record it. Just
you talking about my?
Just give me a couple of days before you put it out. That's all I ask.
Hold up.
Yes, whatever. No pressure.
Let's do that. You can have the full thing. But I've got to get up in 3 hours. I've got to get some sleep. I've got a couple meetings I've got to do in the morning, and we've got to drive 3 hours first. But I've got a lot to go on. So by 1 o'clock, I've got a lot that I have to have done. So I appreciate you, man. And look, hit me up an email. We'll set something up. I don't want to do it on live, but I will. You can record it, and you can put it out there. You can be one.
You need to go, then take care of yourself, please.
Thank you. I appreciate you, and I thank you for wanting to stand for the truth. And your questions are very, very thorough, and they're very therapeutic as well. Much respect, man. Have fun.
Exactly.
You too.